Today we're looking at the VSK, and this video is kind of a follow-up to the level 2 trader builds that did feature the VSK already, but I basically missed a new pretty important part that was added this wipe, plus a few other things like a tip about high pen ammo that I'll show you a little bit later on. But first and foremost, let's jump into the VSK itself. Now I still think this thing is an absolute steal for 54k, given that it comes suppressed. That is normally the price of a suppressor. Some of them are a bit cheaper than that, but you get a whole gun with this. And the part that I was missing off was on the handguard. So I've been using this quite a bit recently, so I decided to do another deep dive because once I'd realized that this was missing, this actually changes the build quite a bit, and maybe for a reason that you might not think. So let's put it on firstly, and what this does is this gives you the ability to put a vertical foregrip underneath. Now what I would do after testing a few little things here is just use the Knight's Armament vertical foregrip. You basically just want the cheapest one that you can get on there that adds a bit of ergo because it doesn't affect things that much. I put an RVG black on there which has the same amount of ergo as a Knight's Armament vertical foregrip, and I went to go and test it in offline mode, and as you can see the recoil pattern is practically the same between the two. The ergonomics is a little bit faster though, so you may as well put something on there that gives you a bit of ergo, given that we're using this handguard in the first place. So you may be asking, well, if it doesn't actually do all that much, is it really worth it? And the answer is yes, because previously one of the issues that we had with the VSK is the only way to get a laser on this gun is using this particular mount, the Axion Cobra dovetail mount. I tell a lie, there is the B3 on Skier, but it's on Skier 3, so you're not going to be able to get access to it early. And that gives you this side rail here, which you can put on a laser or whatever. Now, I've been a big advocate of the infrared flashlights, and usually I stick to the WMX, but obviously I can't buy this yet. And what these do is that they give you a point fire improvement, regardless of whether you've got them on the visible spectrum or not, which is really useful if you play mostly day raids like me. I've been playing with this guy, the Clash 2 IKS Illuminator, but the problem is if you put it on the VSK, it sticks out on the side, and this is really annoying when you're holding the gun. This blocks loads of your screen and is a right pain. But with this handguard, what you can do is you can take this little part over here, the TTS System 2.5-inch rail, and you can put the K2 IKS on here instead. Now obviously you don't need to use this part if you don't want to, you can use whatever flashlight or laser you like, but having it on the right hand side of the gun means you can be able to see your enemies more because they're not going to get blocked by this enormous tactical device right in the middle of your screen. This then also frees up to use whatever mount we like on here. If you do like some of the inbuilt sights for this, for example the OKP7, and I know some people swear by this one because it is a really lovely sight, although the chevron is actually slightly offset from the gun, which some people really dislike. Or alternatively, you could use something like one of the EKPs, either this new one that got added with the SR2M, or the old version where you put the Cobra shade on and get all your ergo back. This is now an option. Alternatively, you could use something like the Bit DT and stick a delta point on there, for example. There's lots of different ways that you can do it. I've been using one of these mounts, the B13V or the B13, because they sit nice and low on the gun. I think I was using the B13V because it sits slightly further back. And I've been trying out this little guy, the Meat Pro. I mentioned this in a previous video because this one actually looks pretty nice and it's on Peacekeeper 1. It is a relatively expensive sight, but the deal is you have to spend a lot of money with Peacekeeper anyway, so you may as well buy something decent from him. So now we have a weapon that performs really nicely in point fire, and we have a good optic on top, and it's in line with the gun, and it's suppressed, and the ergo is slightly better, which is really, really cool. Okay, so last time when we looked at the ammo, we saw that SP5 is available on Prapor 2, and that is really good for what it is. 71 damage and 28 penetration. This ammo is really powerful. This is about the same penetration as something like M855, which is on Peacekeeper 3, or 545 PS, which is on Prapor 3. However, with 71 damage, it really deals a lot more to PMCs than those other two cartridges. You do only get a 20-round mag though, in fairness, and the bullet velocity is only 290 meters per second. On the actual gun, it's even slower at 246 meters per second, so trying to track targets horizontally at any reasonable distance is slightly difficult, which is why I basically just put 1x on this thing and then have something else for long range. But there's another ammo type that we can get access to here that is even better than SP5, because the one thing you might find about SP5 is it sometimes bounces off people's helmets, and against class 4 armor, it might take quite a few shots to get through. So obviously with SP6 being locked to super high level traders, the other alternative is SPP. Now this isn't supposed to be available until Prapor level 4. However, a bit like my AP20 slugs thing we were looking at the other day for setup, there is a way to go and get SPP on the flea market, because although you can't sell ammo on the flea anymore, which I think is a good thing by the way, you can now go and buy boxes of ammo from other players. So if we scroll down here, we get to the 9x39s. Now most of these are just trader listings, but the one that you are allowed to list is FMJ, which is not very good, and SPP. You can get this from Prapor, by the way, I may as well mention this, 2 blue tapes, but this is so expensive for 8, it's ridiculous. It's like 90k or something, so this ends up being about 10,000 rubles per round, so this just isn't worth it. But the 20 packs, you can find these in Raid. You can also buy them from other players, and this is about 1,500 per round. So if you want to top load these, this is a possibility. It's difficult to get ammo with this kind of statistic anywhere else at level 2 traders, because this has got 68 damage and 35 pen, and this puts it in the realm of 762 PS or M856A1, but again with quite a lot more damage. You do find these packs around, so just look out for SPP, BP, and SP6. Also PAB 9 as well, that's another one that you might find out in the wild, and you can supplement your SP5 with these. So I still think the VSK is really, really good. The reason why I wanted to make this video in particular was A, because of the handguard, and B, because I've actually ended up using it a lot, and I wanted to just showcase in some of the situations in which it has worked, and I've actually paired this quite a lot with the Marlin. So I've got the Marlin for long range, and then I've got the VSK for short range, and the combination of the two works really nicely. So next up, I'll show you a couple of clips where I used the VSK in action so you can see how it fared. That's crazy. How do I not follow you? I don't think it matters most of the time, does it really? Shoreline has been toxic today? Oh dear. It's that old Marlin man. Yep. Got some good cash in these now, these days. It might be more than one. Got into like full-on arena panic mode. Yeah, I think we're okay. Okay, so I marked the tower down there. And when you want this thing, when you want scav kills on shoreline, you just kind of have to chill a bit. We got him? I thought he died before the nade sound. I don't get it. Guys, what the hell is this? A stainless steel army dog tag serving the purpose of identified Loadout, given only to those who witnessed the birth of a legend. Twitch drop dog tag? Oh, it's from today. I did kill him with the nade. I've got my LOD really low, so now all the cables are like popping in at really close ranges. Just nasty. Nasty. I didn't kill that guy. Oh my god, I thought that was a player. Oh my goodness, I was ready. Did you see, guys? I was locked in. I was ready. I was ready for a proper fight there. I think there might still be somewhere here. Find the key. Yeah, well, so it's here. That's one spawn. So one here, one on the chair, one on the table. Christ. Thank you, helmet. I wonder where this guy went. Where's my bag? There. Yeah, I put the LOD down to the lowest just to see if it would help, and on the streets it does seem to. Because the issue is, so they've done something to customs. I don't know exactly what they've done, but there's like the building in the middle that is just genuinely awful. And it just absolutely annihilates your FPS. And I think it's happening to everybody. I thought it was for Shala and his gang, but it turns out it's that weird building in the middle.